with the Cloud because of the minus armor.
I don't know, for me it's always Onic. I'm all for Onic the entire series. Don't even need to ask, man.
It's gonna be Onic 4-0, right, Lapel? 4-0 to Onic is Lapel and Mirko's prediction.
That's got me worried. That's got me worried, and I'm pretty sure Onic are shaking. As ladies and gentlemen, we see the wings flapping in the background as we bring you into the land of Dawn for the first game in this best of 7 series. The Sky Kings are looking to complete their three-peat. But here, Geek fam are looking to overtake the throne. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight into it.
The Kings have descended from the skies, and the usurpers from the depths of the underworld, all into the land of Dawn as we get to pace ourselves out. You can hear the big gasp of relief as well from the crowd. Like, oh my god, I thought we were gonna have to get straight into it. No, we gotta chill.
Ladies and gentlemen, finally we get to see a sneak peek as to what already elapsed here in the first 40 seconds of the game.
Here it is, the land of Dawn. 46 seconds in already. Anything interesting in the emblem department? Oh wow, an early win for Marky on this winning matchup.
Look at something interesting. I think the Purify on CW is almost a given at this point. But San's going with the Flicker. This is his signature style. He's on an immobile mage, but he likes making those flashy plays. He likes going for the Mythic Gush and then flickering forwards. That's his style. But look at Beloyski, already targeted by Onic as always.
A good stun over. It's not a Beloyski game without 2 deaths at the minimal. A boy prevents that from happening, and Onic will be able to get control over the enemy jungle.
I can see a lot of emphasis here in the rotations towards the gold lane. Why do you think this is?
Because the gold lane is just so important. Marky is one of the main win conditions, and in the previous few crazy series he's been averaging like 2 or 3 deaths a game, in a game that can trail all the way to like 20 minutes. So I think that is a safe bet, and they can get CW ahead right here. Then the matchup becomes a bit easier for him as well, because there's a true damage, and in the 1v1 duel, the win of nature becomes something that we've already been talking about when it comes to a 1v1 gold laner duel.
But in the early game, is it a KAIRI or a Claude winning that matchup?
I have to say, I think the KAIRI will win it, especially in an all-in. If he can force a Claude, especially one of Purify, to just engage in that fight, it's going to be dangerous for Kiboy.
Good knockup by Niall, forcing that flicker out. Onic versus Geek. It's a 3v4 right now, but it's a spin now pinning them down, and it should be a free retry as Niall picks it up. Below him, he tosses it up as Luke goes into the back. Kiboy very low, no flicker. A boy with a good splash of damage, picking one up, and now they're caught in the midst of Onic. KAIRI and Boots will pin a boy down to secure another. It's 2 kills traded in for 1 kill and a neutral objective. Meanwhile, up top, Blazing Duet, Marky taking very low under the turret, and CW takes a win.
Man, that's aggressive plays from both teams. But then we see it again. If Onic can outmaneuver and then go in and out of a fight, that's where they can get ahead. Geek fam with the signature, with the superior burst will be a lot more dangerous as we take a look at the talent's predictions here, especially from our foreign guests.
Oh, but in Indonesia, it's full Geek fam here. A unanimous vote in that regard. Back to the game though. With that being said, oh, wait a minute. Okay, some damage being put on to a boy here in the mid lane. But with KAIRI and Niall, what's the game plan for Onic? Because earlier on, Mirko mentioned that when they go in for neutral objectives, Niall on the Akai surely has a little bit of an advantage because of that heavy spin.
I think they go straight for the neutral objective contest without fighting. Niall can definitely come out ahead. But with Onic having KAIRI in quote-unquote combo with Boots, that's a lot of damage that I think most people won't really expect coming in from the Fredrin. Because you're so used to seeing him doing damage without the addition of that physical defense shred. So Onic, I think, has to find catches, but now Kiboy.
Good baptism by both, but now it's a knockup, and I'm offended. Beloyski picks up the kill to equalize the kill stat in the 3rd minute of the game. Onic still holding on to that gold lead for now.
Looking at the gold differences by Ube as gold right here. Still pretty equal, but in the XP lane, that's where our eyes are in. It's still only 100k gold, so I mean, 100 gold, not 100k. But
that's a lot.
They're trying to just equalize, but I think with Sans having the Ice Queens one now, this means that now Geek needs to be a bit more careful in their pathing and where they're trying to cross to try and find pickups.
That's some good poke, man. A Mystic Gush and a taunt from KAIRI to lock them down just for a bit. Niall with the heavy spin a bit late though. Now the baptism and it's CW with the Blazing Duet to pick it up. Beloy running away. I'm offended connecting on to CW, but he has a BMI placed defensively. Meanwhile, Kiboy has to flicker out, but Marky follows through as well. Holy Baptism, one more shot, but it's KAIRI still with the retry, who secures it, jumps in onto Luke. Now dealing some damage as Luke jumps in as well. It's just a quick knockout strike as he clears the mid lane to provide a boy with some assistance.
Now that was initiated preferably from Geek Fam, and that's what we were talking about in terms of neutral objective take, right? Because flat out, it feels like Niall has a little bit more of an advantage than KAIRI, but this is the results that we're given. Onic, they have been able to make things messy, they've been able to make things a little bit more in favor of them, and now KAIRI is actually a level ahead, and Niall just secured that level 8.
So what's important to note here is it's the golden advantage that you see action in the EXP as well. Onic trying to use that movement speed, try and gank as many lanes, swing it in their favor. But for Geek Fam, I think the main issue here is Niall is the main front line, but also the main contestant for the neutral objective. We're seeing this trend where the Akai moves forward, has the heavy spin, but is going to be forced to burn it out or even get picked off before the objective is even low enough to contest. Geek Fam must find a way to try and get in that zone without really sacrificing too much HP from Niall or Bloisky.
Audience prediction though by the Samsung Galaxy S23 Series 5G still heavily favors Onic for this particular game. And here it is. Are they going to go for something here? It turns out they won't.
Nope, still too slow. No neutral objective for both these teams. They center around those neutral objectives. That Gord for mid-clear, and obviously Fredrin on the hands of KAIRI. Same thing goes for Geek Fam with that Akai. Bloisky is looking for a gank in the bottom lane where Boots is very immobile, has the flicker, gets out. But it's a big resource spent. 18 seconds before the turtle spawns.
Without the flicker available, it's going to be a bit difficult for Boots to find ways to get in there or be aggressive enough without a way out. But Onic, they're putting their attention on the top side, putting Kibo there, perhaps to trap Luke. Might just work out, but it's a Paquito on a sprint, it's on a cooldown. But the Quantum Charge here can allow him to move a lot faster, and everyone's just parading away down to the turtle pit.
Ooh, an aggressive heavy spin. That is a very costly mistake if it doesn't work out. Boots gets brought back to the team. The Mystic Gush stolen away. A boy now melting him down. Now cancel out with Mystic Gush and Blazing do it to the back line. And it's even a taunt. A big one for Onic. KAIRI picks up the double, but Niall picks up the turtle. Now it's Marky in the bush, getting out. Luke trying to run away, but KAIRI stops that dash from happening. Able to just get out from a different wave. And it's Geek Fam with, Niall almost just assassinating CW there in the mid lane.
That was nearly a worth it trade, 2-2 if they were able to get that pick onto CW. But face value is it was a 2-1 plus Geek Fam was still able to secure the turtle. This was Niall a level below of KAIRI.
That's the Akai power, but it's also because the Onic was focusing more on going for those kills. I mean, I have no idea how Sans even survived that. Moving so aggressively on a gourd, but then slipping right past, right point blank to Geek Fam's members, and still coming out unscathed. Bloisky with the I'm offended though will not be able to find Kiboy, and his positioning in this game has been so good. No one has been able to get to him without really exerting some kind of resource.
But now it's a slow game again. Both these teams will always only fight for neutral objectives unless they see someone overextend, overcommit. The highest level of mlbb in Indonesia right now, and this is what you're watching.
Yeah, you're right. Everyone is just, they understand the stakes. They understand. Both teams, Onic want to keep their kingdom going. They want to keep their dynasty alive. But here, Geek, they're looking to threaten that. But Onic, at this point, 8 minutes in, still a 1K gold lead.
Rashi, it almost feels like the 1,000 gold lead in these matches, even yesterday, feels like not a gold lead. Almost every time you have a gold lead, you're going to lose it.
I think the execution really evens it out. In these games, in this matchup especially, if you don't have a gold lead and want to brag about it, I think it has to be at least 1.5 to 2K gold. CW though taken very low, but with the flash of the Oasis completed, Kiboy going to be such a nuisance to the burst-heavy composition from Geek Fam. Below 20%, you get a big shield, and Kiboy always going to be around.
A boy just got picked off. That's a mega kill for KAIRI. 4th kill in this game, and it's Sans who provided that damage. Onic are going straight for the Lord, and Geek Fam might not be able to contest for this, but they're looking for a CW. No Purify, but is able to escape with the BMI right now as the Holy Baptism connects onto Valoy. CW jumps back, dealing a bit more damage. Sans with the burn. That's the glowing wand dealing the damage, but it's not enough. Marky put some damage back. Now it's Niall in the midst against KAIRI. Pops in a heavy spin right now, but the Lord is not low enough. They're looking for it. They're looking to burst it down. Niall will fall before he even can go for that retry battle, and it's KAIRI who secures it with the retry.
That's a 2,400 gold lead instantly secured by Onic in the 9th minute of the game. Beautifully executed, and the cool thing about this particular game is this is Kiboy Onic, a Rafaela of all heroes. You wouldn't say that this is particularly adjacent to his style, to his identity, and yet he's still really good at the cover, and he's also really good at the initiation.
That's the crazy part. I think Onic knows that Geek Fam is expecting the crazy Kiboy plays. He's playing a Rafaela, and he's counter-engaging. Every time Niall comes in with a heavy spin, he gets Holy Blessinged. And then Luke as well earlier. Seems like Onic are just playing reactively, trying to make sure that Geek Fam are the ones overextending to try and secure the neutral objective, like we saw earlier. But without the right scouting, without the right intelligence, they can't really get in the right moments, and Onic is baiting them using that fact.
And it was just so perfectly timed, right? Even Miracle mentioned earlier on that 1k gold lead that Onic was able to build feels still like a stalemate, and yet just that entire momentum shifted into the hands of the Sky Kings, the Yellow Porcupines, and one by one, these turrets are going to fall from Geek Fam.
Ooh, Luke's dealing a good amount of damage, but CW is dealing more. They even commit the Mystic Gush, a bit of overkill, but when you have a 5,000 gold lead, you can afford it.
Oh.
Beloy is offended. He brings Kiboy back with the healing from that photo. And the Holy Healing grants him all the HP back to get the trade back. Turn it around onto Beloy.
2-0.
That was crazy. The pre-placement on the field by Sans as well to predict where Beloy is trying to escape to. This man on the gourd is just something else, man. It doesn't operate like the usual gourd you see. It's aggressive, but somehow it's always out of reach.
So what's the plan here? What's the plan, right? Because at this point, every time they go in for team fights, it doesn't appear that anyone can actually dive into the back line and cut the range that Onic has short because of that gourd. Whose job is it to go to the back line, and how do they do it?
I think Luke definitely is the main contender, but actually a boy can do so as well. Technically, the whole comp from Geek Fam do really well when they're not exactly in a complete front to back. The short range of the carry means that CW technically has more AoE, but if they can really find ways to get in the back line and utilize the crowd control efficiently, that could be the way they can do it, but they have to try and farm up and equalize the gold difference first, because at 6k, that is starting to be too much for execution and micro plays to be able to equalize.
They're really just forced to turtle in their own base. There's not much they can even do in their own jungle here. Niall has to walk up and open it up for the team. And by doing that, he's already risking his life. He's a level below of KAIRI. Sure, more neutral objectives so far, but Onic have more structures. They can play the map, they can poke. Geek Fam and Beloyski going for that signature game-changing play. Not too sure if that will work out for them here, as they have gone to the complete opposite side of where Onic are residing in.
They don't see him. The only... Sans knows what they're doing. Look at the way that Onic have actually responded to that, despite them in the unknown.
Oh, what an insight from Sans there, but now KAIRI tries to capitalize on it.
That's a big taunt onto Beloyski. CW with some follow-up there, and a Mystic Gush just melts him away. Luke is forced to pop the sprint defensively, and it's all Onic in the 13th minute of the game. CW blazing to the front, dodging everything, and now onto Marquet. CW in a 1v3 forces the heavy spin, and a boy gets executed by Gila Sans.
Obliterated. This is just a different level coming from Onic here in game number 1 of this best of 7 series. And even though we see on the skill board 411, look at all the kills that were taken by Geek Fam. It's only onto Boots, it's only onto Kiboy. Sans and CW, the two anchors of damage coming in from the Yellow Porcupines, still remain untouched at this point of the game.
And that's with Sans just flickering aggressively yet again in the previous fight. Just the move on end of predictions here, but Beloyski with the concealed Wolf of Boots.
Good pickoff onto Boots. The fadeaway should kill him, and yes, it does. That's a kill over to Marquis. Something they desperately need was a glimpse of hope, and that's a glimpse of brilliance that they just got.
Now here it is, Wind of Nature finally secured in by Marquis. Is this something that they need at this point?
Well, there's a lot of magical damage on the side of Onic as well, though. As well with his true damage coming in from Gord. So Marquis will be a bit more safe, but he needs to still be careful as Beloy gets taken out.
Heck, a defensive item for Marquis. What about Beloyski? Oh my god, it's Niall finding the back, but it's a holy baptism to cancel it out. CW! Once again with a blazing duet, just takes them out in the back. And the executor will never be CW. It will be Kiboy and Sans, and now
Luke?
even one more. Kiboy flickering forward, basic attacking. Luke able to escape, but Kiboy is the executioner. Sans again with a Mystic Gush and a stun onto Niall. KAIRI dashing forward, the base wide open. In the 14th minute of the game, that's a two-man stun. That's an Appraiser's Wrath, and it's CW who is unstoppable. The mid-wave's crashing in. Voloisky looking for a miracle play. CW onto the base, the baptism connecting. No minions right now, they have cleared it, but Voloy falls once again. It's Marky caught in the laser beam. And it's Onic dismantling, deteriorating, obliterating Geek Fam in game 1.
The Sky Kings, they're gonna lead the series, this best of 7 series 1-0. And we're gonna call our analysts, our shadows. Ring, ring, ring. For the friend, Wolf LaFell. What was that?